this is problem 7-123 from section 7.2.1. Evaluate each of the following expressions exactly. That is our key word here. That means do not plug this into your calculator and get a decimal. We want fractions, we want square root signs, okay? You need to keep it as exact as possible. Our first one is tangent of 2 pi over 3. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break up this circle here. Here's pi, right? I'm going to break it up into thirds. So here's 1, here's 1. So this is 2 pi over 3. Right? This is 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3. This would really be 3 pi over 3, but we just call it pi. Okay, so we know we're at this angle right here. So if I draw my triangle, draw a triangle in here, we should recognize that this is going to be a 60-degree angle, and this is a 30-degree angle, and this is obviously a 90-degree angle. Okay, so we're going to use our triangle, special right triangle relationships to fill this in and figure out what stuff we can do here. All right, so here I'm gonna actually redraw this triangle a little bit lower so I can write bigger. All right, so we knew this one was 60. This one was 30. The reason we know that that's 60 is because this whole thing right here, each of these little pi over 3s is worth 60. So 60, 60, that makes 120, and the rest, the other thing would have to be a 60 there. Okay, so let's look across from our 30 degrees was a 1. Across from 60 was radical 3. Across from a 90 was a 2. So those are your old numbers. So I'm going to change them into the new numbers. Make this to become a 1. So I need to divide everything by 2. Alright, so there we go. So it wanted us to do tangent, correct? Tangent of this, okay? So we know tangent of my angle is going to be sine of my angle over cosine of the angle. Okay? Again, once you have the sine and cosine, don't just divide it and put it in your calculator. Not cool. So sine is our height. Now that our radius is 1, I can only look at the height being called my sine when the radius is 1. Otherwise, it's opposite over adjacent. So when my radius is 1, it is the height. So sine is radical 3 over 2. It's my sine. And the cosine is going to be 1/2. But think about this. Look at my circle. I am to the left. Okay, so this is really going to be a negative 1/2. So I'm dividing by negative 1/2. Okay, so here's my tangent of 2 pi over 3. Right here. And I need to simplify this. Okay, so to get rid of the fraction on the bottom, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal on both things, negative 2 over 1. Now these will all cancel out with each other. Okay, this 2 and this 2 cancels, so I just have negative radical 3. That is the answer for part A. Tangent of 2 pi over 3 is negative radical 3. Okay, my second part B, is the tangent of 7 pi over 6. So let me draw another circle. So this is going to be for part B. Circle. Alright, let's figure out where we want this. How we get 7 pi over 6. So here's pi again. I think it's really helpful to draw this circle every time, rather than totally memorizing on the unit circle, which you can. But so I want 6 pieces, so each of these is going to be worth 30 degrees. Alright, and I want 7 pi over 6. So this is 6 pi over 6. So right here, so I really need to go down here to 7 pi over 6. Okay? So I'm going to draw this triangle a little bit larger over here. Okay, so this, since I split them into 6 equal parts on the top half, this angle right here is going to be 30 degrees. So this is 30 degrees. This one's the 90. This one is 60. Again, we're going to use that 30, 60, 90 triangle. I'm going to do, this is normally 1, radical 3, 2. I'm going to change it. So my radius is worth, or my hypotenuse is worth 1. So I got to divide this by 2, divide this by 2. Alright, so now I want tangent, again, of this one. So I'm going to do tangent, which is sine, divided by cosine. Sine is going to be my height. Now this time I'm going below the ground, so that's negative. I'm going below ground, it's going to be negative. Sine of the angle is negative 1 over 2. divided by cosine of the angle. I'm going to the left of the center, left of the circle, left and down are both negative, so this is really negative radical 3 over 2. Handwriting is not quite as good. I got a new stylus I'm working with here, thanks to Mr. Robinson, but it's not doing so great. Okay, so next we're going to do multiply by the reciprocal again, so negative 2 over radical 3 times negative 2 over radical 3. Bottom, gone. This 2 and this 2 cancel. Negatives and negatives cancel. So now I have the tangent of 7 pi over 6 is going to equal 1 over the square root of 3. Now this technically could be the answer, but we've been making no square roots in the bottom. So multiply it by radical 3 on the top and the bottom. So now it becomes radical 3 over these two square roots together, cancel each other out. I'm just left with a 3. So this is ready for part B. Tangent of 7 pi over 6 gives me radical 3 over 3. Remember, tangent is sine divided by cosine.